AFTV Mo. Confident performance by Arsenal tonight, not vintage.
In the second half it was.
In the second half, but you could argue quite a very good defensive performance in that, they was quite solid. You didn't think so?
No, I mean, because look, we
got
got
a lot of corners that they conceded, for instance, and listen, a couple of years ago, all those corners, one of them will be in a goal.
But look, we people don't like hearing this really, because we're on the crest of a wave and people only want to hear positives, and I get that. But Emery said it himself that there are improvements that need to be made, and we give too many chances away to opposition, whether that is in terms of what Sokratis did today, under hit back pass, and then he had to, in my opinion, foul the man, and that was an intentional foul. Should have been a red card. That gives the opposition a real opportunity. Against Leicester, we gave him far too many opportunities. Harry Maguire, that big slab head of his, back post unmarked. That's one thing that you should be practicing during the week. It was unacceptable in my book that Bellerin was left to mark Harry Maguire, and that he even let him free.
But I think today, how many clear-cut chances did Sporting Lisbon have? I think sometimes that's how you have to look on it as well. In that the style of Arsenal's a little bit different now, where we will give teams a lot more of the ball than we used to. We give up a little bit more possession, but they didn't. They had a lot. They were huffing and puffing.
Yeah,
but I just felt that every time they got near the box, they were crowded out.
But Robbie, I mean, what player of quality do you feel like they had on the pitch? What player of real quality?
They haven't lost a game here at home.
That,
For the last 2 years, and the last team to beat them was Barcelona.
Sure, but slightly flawed statistic, because they're not a top level team, and therefore they're not in the top level competition, and they're not playing the highest caliber of teams. So that's taken into account the strength of their own league and that sort of thing. Look, don't get me wrong, they've got a good home record, and you have to respect that, and we've done a good job coming here and making sure that we've done a professional job, but there are a lot of things that we need to tidy up in terms of our play, and going forward we're great, no complaints when it comes to that, but I just think that we do need to make sure that we're a bit better drilled and a bit more cautious at the back, because Sokratis should have been sent off today, and also they had a shout when Lichtsteiner held a bit of Nani's shirt, we can't tell from where we were, but that seems like a bit of a 50-50.
That looked like a dive to me.
Yeah, well, it's Nani, isn't it? So it probably is going to be one. But the thing is, I'm just saying there's little moments like that where then if we don't get those decisions, all of a sudden we're putting ourselves under real pressure. So I just, it's things like that frustrate me. But it wasn't good in the first half, and we're doing this regularly. Second half, we're playing brilliantly, and I just want to see us iron those things out, because they're cropping up in every single game. If it happens once every couple, 2-3 games, whatever, you can't stamp it out entirely. But I want to see us stamp those out and start playing better in the first halves. And then, hopefully we'll be at that level where we can say, we're real challengers. But right now, there's enough flaws in our game to kind of say, we've got chinks in our armour.
And Danny Welbeck, listen, I know you over the years, you ain't been his biggest fan. However, this season, every time he's been asked to step in as a squad player, which is the reality of is that's what he is, right? He does the business. He's doing. Does he deserve a new deal?
Look, for me, I'd say he probably does deserve a new deal, but I personally wouldn't give him one. And the thing is, I always say about Danny Welbeck. Let me say this. The thing I always say about Danny Welbeck is, you might not rate him, but you can't hate him, right? He works so hard for the team. He's a really likeable guy and all that sort of stuff. But we know that in terms of upper limit potential, he's there already. There's not more to come from him. And we've got a player in my book who's so talented as a youngster, Eddie Nketiah. I want to see him get minutes. Age is irrelevant. When you see someone like Matty Guendouzi playing at 19, and Smith Rowe on the fringes, Reece Nelson is doing bits for Hoffenheim. I want to see Nketiah play more, because I feel like he's got bags of talent. So that's the reason why I wouldn't give Welbeck a new contract. Even though he does deserve it, I'd be a bit more future focused and say, look, the time that he's getting should be Nketiah's time. And I don't mean any hate. Welbeck, he's made a fan out of me. I wasn't happy when we signed him, and I feel like he's performed as per expectation against lower league opposition or lower level opposition. He does the business, but obviously, he's not an adequate replacement for Aubameyang or Lacazette. And for me, Nketiah shows me that absolute amazing raw striker potential, where I feel like, actually, do you know what, in 5, 6, 7, 10 years time, we might be talking about him as one of the more decent players, or one of the more decent strikers in Europe. So that's, for me, why I wouldn't give Welbeck a contract.
And can we win this competition?
Oh yeah, for sure. But the thing is, there's going to be some very difficult teams coming out. Could have Napoli or PSG. The Dortmund, Atletico. There's a lot of hard groups out there. And look,
Tottenham
could have United. So it will be tricky, and you can never ever say with confidence at this stage of this competition that, yeah, we're favourites and we're going to win it, because you don't know who's going to drop out. It just annoys me that when United won it, the hardest team they had to play was Ajax. And, you know, when it's us, you know, we're getting teams like Atletico Madrid and, you know, it's going to be difficult, but of course we can win it. 11 games on the trot, that doesn't happen by chance. We're a very good team and Emery's doing a fantastic job for us. So yeah, why not? And on to Palace now and hopefully make it 12.